Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 12. This one will be rather similar to the last one. We are still in waiting mode, since we need to finish a lot of construction projects, not to mention all the research we have on the table. We just managed to finish building the medical university in the last video, so we will get going on those technologies too. And I am happy to say, we will also manage to get the oil refinery tech done, so we should be good to go on that one for the next outing. The project will finish fairly early in the episode, but we have so much on our hands, I didn't want to distract our construction workers by adding a whole new industry onto it. We will just do it in the following video. Today, we will pass the time with some more decorating, including some small monuments, which will look rather familiar to those who watched our previous series. Before we get started, if this is not your first video from this channel, you already know what to expect. If you want to be kept up to date, please consider subscribing, and if you like what you see, leaving a like will also help letting me know what to focus on. But enough talking, let's get into it. First, we check our universities, and we make sure they are researching new technologies. That includes the medical one, which we tasked with boosting the reproductive rate of our people. I also wanted to get this highway done already, so I added all the segments to the current offices. And I made sure to set one to high priority, so we can better control where the paver engine goes after finishing its current job. Previously, I set the number of workers allowed in this footpath worksite to 0. As it turns out, this also includes bust-in workers for infrastructure jobs, so it's better off at max. And the distribution office research is done. I see no point in doing the railroad version at this moment in time, so we just got started on the fire prevention one. Well, that's all the housekeeping we had to do. Time to get to work on the decorations. Between episodes, I downloaded the small monument pack, as well as those neat little news agent kiosks from the previous series. I think that little space between the flower beds would be perfect for one of these small monuments. Sadly, the flower bed itself interferes with the footpath connection. Thankfully, we only need to remove the flower bed temporarily to put in the dirt path going to the construction site. Later on, we will even put the flower beds back, right on top of the footpath, since it won't really block the path of people. We still need to set every single monument we place today to let us know when they are done building. Even if the flower beds are replaced immediately, those dirt footpaths will still need to go. Next, the hospital's frontal area. There is no space left for planting trees, even after reloading the game, but thankfully we can easily squeeze in a monument to liven up the place. Damn! Only a pixel away from the hospital, and there is no room for a footpath. Would have looked kind of nice. I guess we will just have to make do with one of these small ones. As for this place, apart from the crooked flower bed, I think it would look kind of nice if we had one of these small monument come out of the middle. First we place the monument itself, and then we can replace the flowers. I still didn't think of just placing the flowers back over the footpaths yet. That idea will come in a little bit. Now, the cinema. I really wanted to do something with this place, so let's see what we can do. Nice. First segment of the highway is done. We just need to keep setting one of them to high as they get completed, and the dumpers should focus on those. Whenever possible, we should try to get rid of the service roads as the main highway is being completed, so we can force vehicles to use the faster path. I'll just revisit the customs house in a bit. Traffic should clear up by then. We can get started on the refinery technology itself. Since we now know how to make fuel and bitumen, we just need to bring the two together. And since we have plenty of graduates at this point, I decided to just go full speed on it. It finally dawned on me that there is no point delaying the flower beds, we can just put them back now. And the construction office replacement is done. Well, one of them at least. We can tell all the machinery to migrate over to it, so we can get started on demolishing the other one. We should also relocate that demolition office right next to it, so we have the room to build the replacement once the removal is done. As I've said, we can just put the flower beds back in, so we can do it with the circular one we had here. And the population boosting tech is done. How about we do the alcohol one next? Even if we don't serve it ourselves, the health tracker still shows a bit of it impacting the health of our citizens, so I guess they have homemade hooch somehow, so that tech should still help out a little. This empty area at the school is perfect for another monument. Not seeing any clothes in the factories or the warehouse got me a bit worried, but the town store is completely full, so it's going to be okay. I mostly avoided decorating around the housing blocks until now, so it's time we got started on those too. Of course, deleting those trees will make that area unplantable until the game is reloaded, so we will need to revisit these places in the future. I got to say, these flower beds turned this boring block of flats into a rather nice and cozy little thing. And we have another door right in the middle. If we place something in that little courtyard, we can treat it as if leads into a communal place just for the residents of this building. In this case, maybe a little playground for the kids will do the trick. After we reload the game, we can fill in the rest of those holes with trees again, finishing the setup. I was wondering why this monument still wasn't finished. As it turns out, I forgot to assign the source of the materials for the new CO, so it is mostly sitting idle. Good things the two secondary offices with the dumpers are as active as ever, and the work machinery can still do their job, so things aren't at a complete standstill. I wish I discovered this oversight sooner. Hey, we can place the second construction office. And as you can see, they have two entrances, so we can line up the two on the sides with each other, and use them to build the office before the driveway is finished. Well, to be honest, I used those small container buildings at the bottom as our position indicators, which resulted in a pretty good alignment. Anyways, as you've seen, another medical research got completed, so I got started on the preventative medicine one, so we can lower the risk of a stroke and heart attacks in our people. I finally got fed up with the lack of progress on the Red Star Monument, so I decided to investigate further. We had quite a few dumpers milling around the office, and they were all empty. Once I clicked on the office itself, the cause became immediately obvious. And the refinery technology is complete. As the next step, we had a couple routes to choose from, and I decided to go for the prefab buildings next. As for the refinery itself, I did explain why we won't start planning it today. We have more than enough construction projects active already, so we will just leave it for the next episode. We already have a theme for this one with the flowers and small monuments, might as well do it all the way through. I wasn't sure how to incorporate that lonely footpath at the kindergarten, so I just got rid of it, and we will just use the two main entrances. And the border highway is progressing quite nicely. As the segments get finished one by one, we can get rid of the service roads, forcing vehicles to recalculate their pathing on the much faster asphalt. Finally, we have vehicles inbound for the Red Star Monument. About time. and the first fire prevention tech is finished. Same as with most technologies, the first one is always some kind of preliminary research, which unlocks the actually beneficial ones. In this case, we can study industrial, residential, and service building safety. Only needs 2, maybe 3 deliveries of concrete, and this monument will be completed. It could only accept 50 workers, so I just left it open until it gets done. Interesting. I specifically set one of the highway roads to high priority, and the paver still went to this industrial road. I guess I didn't set the assignments after sending all the vehicles over to the new office. And we can get started on the heart attack and stroke prevention studies. Also, that population boosting tech is already available again. That didn't last very long. This segment is about to be completed. Might as well wait it out, and get rid of the service connection immediately after. These harvesters are queued up for repair, but I have a feeling they will be hard to actually fix. They might just leave for the fields anyway, and force the repair trucks to go back and forth, until they just happen to arrive at the farm at the same time. Even if the option is unticked, they will still leave the place if they don't start repairing something almost immediately. To focus on finishing the highway, I decided to set the 2 nearby industrial roads to low priority, and send the dumpers stuck there home, so they can be more productive elsewhere. Since the service roads are gone here, we might as well put back the railroad bridge we had to delete to make room. Well, I think that's all we can really do today. We have managed to finish researching the oil refinery, so that is one of the things we will occupy ourselves with in the next episode. Obviously, we will build it right next to the oil fields, which should be far enough from the town to justify building a passenger train station for. Obviously, we will also need to build a bus stop there, so we can keep things going until the railroad is finished enough to release trains onto it, but hopefully it won't be a long-term thing. As soon as the refinery comes online, and we start producing oil and bitumen, our money troubles should be more or less solved. Our biggest expenditure in terms of imported goods is undoubtedly fuel, apart from the usual construction materials like steel, so if we can turn petrol from an import into something that we are actively exporting, then we will be in the green for sure. Anyways, if you haven't done it already, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel, and leaving a like would also let me know that this video was worth making. If you feel that it was good enough, and you can afford it, please consider going to my Ko-fi page, which you can find in the description, and donate an amount that you feel is appropriate. And if you did like what you've seen, there should be links to some of my other videos and playlists on the screen. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.